please know that you have everything to bring the change. None of us lacks anything. At many times we feel, oh, am I capable enough to do this? Maybe I'm not. I don't have sufficient powers or sufficient mental strength to make this change. Oh, I feel weak. Most of it is mental, honestly. I'm not saying everything is mental because then there would be some people who would argue about other things, though it could be argued, but that's not a topic of discussion right now. What I'm trying to say is the problems in your mind are mental problems, and you can overcome them as well. But know that everyone has the same capacity of thinking. You would again argue that, oh, some of us are intelligent, some of us are not intelligent, some of us are they are able to process information, some of us are multifaceted, they can do multitasking. It's just the way they have oriented their mind. It is what they have been doing things, or the way they've been doing things. Anyone, if you do things that way, you will be able to do it. It's like acquiring a skill, right? Someone who has never driven or never rode a bicycle, right? They would say, "Oh, this is something I cannot do." Unless you keep practicing, unless you ride a bicycle, fail and learn, you will not know how to ride a bicycle. Same with driving the car. Many times we say, "Oh, I can't drive." Or for many years, I thought I will not able to drive. And I know many people like that who, at least for 30, 35 years of their life, thought they cannot drive. They don't have the road sense, they don't have the traffic sense. But when they were forced to learn, when they were pit against the wall, they actually learned and they do a pretty good job right now. So, what I'm trying to say is please don't think that we are limited in what we can do, at least from the mental perspective. Physical aspect is different, I can understand. But from mental perspective, we all have everything that we need to make the change. Just remember that. The other thing I would advise you to remember is um, have patience. At times, whenever we make a goal, we make a target, we invariably associate a timeline with that. And timeline is not always a bad thing. I'm not saying that we should not have a timeline, but we set some set of expectations as well. And when things do not happen the way we want, in the timing that we want, because we want to have a job by a certain time, we want to have, because, and it could be because we don't have as much money to survive, we have to pay our mortgage or something like that. And I'm not saying that's always a bad thing, but then not every time you will get things as per your timing. We have to look at how deep we are in our own practice before we can actually start to question whether why we are not getting things. So have patience. At times, things don't come as per our timing. I shared my story many times about me buying my dream car that came after the goal I set up, right? 5 year goal that I set up. It took me 5 years, 7 months. But then you all know it was much better than what I was asking for as well. So just remember that many times we think uh, we need to have things by a certain time. And if that doesn't happen, our life will be completely broken or shattered. There won't be anything left. But then life is far more greater than that. It is just our mind, based on the information or based on the comfort that we have created, based on the fears that we have accumulated, tells us things in a timely manner or puts a timeline around things. So just have patience. I would really, really advise just have patience. And if you can build a bit of trust, which is the next point, that can actually help you have patience as well as take things in a positive manner. When you're trying things, when you're trying to reorient your mind, it's very easy to demotivate or get demotivated, right? Or when you see things not working, because we want instant gratification, we want instant results for action that we do. And results don't always come instantly. At times they do, but not always, depending on how good we were in reorienting our mind, depending on whether or not we were able to do things properly, whether we have all other supporting factors in place for something to happen. Time can be subjective for anything that we are trying to do. So having trust is really important. I would rather say if you can move beyond from trust to have a belief or faith, that is something that can even help more. Whether that is with a god that if you're religious, uh, if you are atheist, maybe just have trust in the universe, right? Or the evolution. Typically, we talk about evolution. Things can evolve, right? And if you are agnostic, at least in the supreme entity that you guys consider, no matter what you believe is, trust is something that can help you a long way, a big way. And that can make you stay focused on what you're trying to do. So if you're trying to reorient your mind, trust is something that can be a really good friend. The next thing that you can consider is use your brain. Ask when you ask question. Use your brain as in use uh, analyze things. But more importantly, try to listen to your instinct. That is why I was saying when you ask question, your mind will answer you. It will give you responses. But many times, those responses will be from the, like they say, most frequently visited places, right? Um, easier to obtain information from places without going too deeper. When you say no, I don't think this is right. Let me see. Why is this happening? Or why is this not happening? Why my mind is like that? Or why I'm having these thoughts? If you keep asking that, if you keep repeating that, your mind or your brain will go to different places then, the places that it never went before, at least for those when you ask questions. So if you listen to your instinct, you will go to the right path. Your instinct keeps telling you what is the right thing to do. And that is the difference between mind and instinct, right? Whenever you repeat the process of asking, you move on from getting responses from your brain to your instinct. It's really important for us to understand that. When your brain stops, your instinct will respond. Your consciousness, if your conscious mind does not have information, your subconscious mind will have information. So I would say it is really important for us to listen to our instinct, not just our brain. The other thing we can consider is writing a journal or a diary. It is important in a way that we do not uh, lose track of what is not working well for us and what is working well for us. I would even suggest that we have a physical diary or journal or notebook that you want to use rather than electronically. Uh, our mind just registers things far more better when we write things as opposed to when we type things. So it is really important as well. It is something that you may want to do, you may not want to do, depending on your situation. But if you can, it is highly recommended that you write about things. At least make a note of things. If you do not or cannot use the diary or a journal or a notebook, at least write on a phone, type on a phone or laptop or iPad or whatever you have. At least make a list so that your mind has things that work for you and things that don't work for you, so that you can start to focus and reorient your mind. What you can do is, other than that, you can ask for help while you act on your path. Help could be from your mind or your subconscious mind or your own spirit, or it could be from a spiritual world. People, and please don't get alarmed. It may not go with everyone's belief here, but then From my experience, I can tell the help is available to everyone from spiritual world. If we are able to ask that, if we are able to connect deeper, go closer to who we really are, you would see help arrives. You would see things come to you. You would see the information that you're looking for outside is actually inside as well, and you will get that. Many people that you talk about, whether they are spiritual people or highly motivational people, how do they get that information? We are reading their books, but whose book they read? Just ask yourself that. The scientists we talk about, the achievers that we talk about, we are attending their sessions, we are reading their books or their discoveries or their experiences. But how did they get that? Did they read the book? Like if you talk about, and I'm just tossing out a name, so please don't mind me. Don't take it in a negative or positive manner. I'm just giving examples here. Nothing. I don't have any association or not trying to promote or demote any guys. But like if you hear about like Tony Robbins or law of attraction coaches or gurus, whether it's Esther Hicks or someone else, how do they get information? For sure, they have not read the book that we have not read, right? Because if there was a book, we could read that book as well and get as informed as they are. And that is exactly what I'm trying to say. At times we think information is outside, but I can guarantee everything that we are looking for outside is also inside. And the help is available to everyone if we ask correctly. If we develop those practices, you will see the help arriving, you will see the information arriving to you, you will see the answers arriving to you, you will be able to hear your instinct better, you will be able to answer your queries better. And that is also something that we can you can consider. If you are spiritual, probably you will already attest to that. If you just started your journey, if you have not able to go as deeper, I can guarantee from my own practices, I can guarantee from many examples that that is something that happens. You do get help. So ask for help. If you are not able to get deeper, if you are not a person who has been able to make inroads with your own self, right? Your mind keeps stopping you. You're not able to concentrate. You're not able to you're not able to go deeper or focus. You can ask for help from other people. I mean, you can ask at least ask for perception, right? What do people think? And I'm not saying just again go out on the street and ask people what they think about you and things like that. But ask people who know you, and if you are able to create that circle that I was talking about, people who are motivated, they can help you guide in a certain direction. If you are in a um, circle of spiritual people, they'll definitely be able to help you in that direction. The only thing is spiritual people will uh, always indicate that you have to become more spiritual because they have already seen that. It is, I would say, pretty natural for any spiritual person to talk about spirituality more because they have experienced something and they understood things differently, which many other people have understood, which are like the leaders in the group in the world right now. Many people we follow, like why Einstein is Einstein, why Newton is Newton. Wasn't gravity before Newton? Was the apple flying to the sky before Newton found it? It was always falling to the ground, right? He was just the first one to have more inquiry about it. They did not discover something, they just noticed something. And that's the difference. And I know this is something more debatable. We can talk more about it. People will have different perceptions. But just remember this. If the takeaway from this, at least this point is ask for help from people who can support you. If you can ask for help internally inside you, you will see you will get help from spiritual world. And this help is available to everyone equally. That is the point I wanted to drive. It is available to everyone equally, no matter who you are, where you are, what your belief system is, what you have done in the past, what you feel about yourself, whether you have done some horrible mistakes or things or whatever, you committed sins, all the sins in the world, whatever, does not matter. Help is available to everyone equally. The next thing that we can do that to support us in reorienting our mind, and again, people will look at it differently. We typically live to eat, right? But we don't eat to live. We eat way too much than we actually require. Our bodies. You will be surprised if you start to follow more spiritual way of living. If you even start to follow the intermittent fasting and things like that, you will see that your body does not require as much food as we eat, and the quality of food as well, right? It is something that can help you when you make this inquiry, when you start to tap or access your subconscious mind more and more. I would say eating is something that can also help you. Don't think any habit that we have in the real world or physical world is disjointed or independent. Everything is connected in a way, and that is why we have to develop those habits more. That is why I'm asking you to create that list and develop those activities or focus on those activities so that it can help you in your inquiry or the change or reorientation that you're trying to bring. Other thing you can do is forgive and forget. Forgive people, forgive the past, forgive the circumstances, situations. You're not always the cause of it, and even if you were, that's okay. We all do make mistakes, some way or other, whether we notice or not. Many of us, we make mistakes and we don't notice. People we call like selfish, self-centered. Uh, at times they do not even notice what mistakes they make. They are so self-centric, right? They don't care about many people, and they are happy. We don't have to always take revenge. One of the things, and it's so funny that everything falls into the place. The experiences when you become spiritual become so interesting, and you get so fascinated by things happening. No matter what you do, no matter any activity that you take part in, give you something to learn from spiritual perspective. I was watching this movie. It's a new movie of I'm forgetting the name of the actress. The movie name is I Care a Lot. There's this person who's putting people in foster care, old people or senior care, and basically occupying their properties or taking advantage of their money that they have saved. And instantly, whenever you see this, right, or see any movie, our mind asks for either poetic justice or a revenge, right? We become so involved with things that we want justice instantly. If for some bad action we want punishment for that person, if someone is playing a negative role, negative lead in a movie, we want bad things to happen to that person. We start to think, our mind starts to think, oh, you know, this person is not good, something bad should happen to this. And it's fascinating again, like I'm saying, when you become spiritual, you derive from all what you see. I was watching a scientist talk about her reaction for movie Contact, and she was reacting to one incident in the movie where Jodie Foster has discovered this frequency where they say there's an artificial or there's some life outside this planet, and someone else who was actually trying to stop her and cut down her funding takes the limelight, and she reacted, being a scientist also. Oh, I feel so horrible. Why did she do that? Why did he do that? Or things like that. So it is something that becomes our natural reaction, and we don't watch how we think. At times, we want to have a justice or punish someone or take revenge, and many times it is not a good thing to do. Many times it fills up with emotions and feelings and vibration, energy that don't serve well. If you forgive, you will be able to move on from more negativity and move on to more positivity. Forgiving and forgetting information at times. It's okay to forget something that doesn't serve you well. It's okay to don't remember everything. That's okay. As long as you remember the crux of it, that's fine. If that is something is serving you well, and forgetting thing or forgiving thing, that is something that can help you a lot. And finally, just remember that change is guaranteed if your conscious efforts are guaranteed. If you make guaranteed effort consciously, change will come. And just to remind you of that, just remember the example of the bamboo, the Chinese bamboo you call, right? You have to follow the process, keep giving water after planting the seed for 5 years, and you don't see anything for 5 years, anything above ground. You just have to trust the process. You just have to keep doing things. And you would know after 5 years, within 6 weeks, it will grow as tall as 80 feet. Within 6 weeks after 5 years. But for 5 years, nothing will happen. You will not be able to see any change. And that is how things work as well, many times. And we give up too early. So for change to happen, if your conscious efforts are guaranteed, change is guaranteed. Again, with a caveat that there are other factors at play. Everything has to line up as well. But if you do your 100%, this is what is your 100%. If you keep doing your 100%, you increase your chances of getting things done, the desires that you have.